What's going on, everyone? Zavage here, and this is our first video in a very long time. This is a video that I always intended to do, but I definitely didn't want to do it close to the launch of a server because it would affect the economy really well. It is a gold making video. The reason why you don't really want to do these kind of videos close to the launch of a server is that it really can affect the economy, because a lot of things that are used for making gold, it's one of those things in ArcheAge where if everybody is doing it, not good anymore. It becomes, flooded into the market. And that is very well something that will happen now. So some of these things that I'm going to talk about in this video, they may be good right now for making gold, but some of them may not be after this video if everybody starts doing these things, because it'll flood the market and their price will get driven down. Now, not everything on the list is going to be tied into the auction house for making money. Some things are just straight valuable, but we'll talk about those as we go on. Just do keep that in mind about gold making videos when it comes to ArcheAge. Usually, the more people that know about how to do something, the less valuable it is, right? Now, the first one that I want to talk about is one that most people already know. If you are a veteran ArcheAge player, you already know this. A lot of things in this video you're going to know, and it's not really going to pertain to you, so you already know how to make money. This is mostly for newer players or people who are returning and things have changed. First one is going to be dungeons. Alright, so Greater Howling Abyss, GKC, Hadir Farm, all those things, Serpentis, all of these dungeons that you do have a very high value for monetary gain. They give gear that you can even stone for sunlight and moonlight archeum crystals, which are going for a really nice price right now on the marketplace. Right now everybody needs moonlight archeum because people are trying to make their dawns drop, people are trying to make their boats and stuff. I mean, you got Moonlight Archeum here for a little under 3 gold. That's pretty good money. If you do, full runs, get multiple pieces of gear, and you just sell a stack of it, pretty good stuff. So that's one way. It's really cheap. It's 10 labor to even stone a piece of gear. So it's not totally labor free, but it's very cheap labor. All right. There are a few things like from Serpentis, the very last boss. He does have an item that drops, a material that does vendor for 5 gold. That's another thing. You can do Serpentis 3 times, so 15 gold, easy. Go for it. Why not? The next thing on that list is going to be Herodium mole crates. Right now, this was the thing that a lot of veteran players on your servers were doing at the start of the server to get massive amounts of gold and progress rapidly ahead of everybody else. A lot of people that were making gold weren't necessarily doing it through world bosses or anything like that. Veteran players were doing these Herodium mole crates because new players coming back to the game, they didn't know about them. So people who were on newer servers but had veteran players on them, those players were definitely making a lot of money, while on servers like Tyrannos and Win that have a lot of returning players, those people knew what it was and they were contesting for the mobs but still making good money. So these are crates that drop from Herodium moles out in the Eastern Haram Mountains, right? They spawn anywhere from all the way through here, right? And around this area, any of the trees that have spike crystals coming out of them, and a couple locations here around the waterfalls. Right, they do burrow underground, so you do need to do a /target Herodium mole to try and find them. If you fail to kill it and it burrows, it will despawn for 3 hours. They have a 3-hour respawn. They have very high evasion rates, so they are a little bit of a pain to kill if you are melee initially. But once you get your accuracy up, it's not as much of a problem, but mages have the easiest time killing them. They drop these mole crates that give anywhere from 10 to 150 gold for 100 labor. So that is really good money. And there were people that were killing these on cooldown, multiple, every day. So those people were making hundreds and hundreds of gold every day, just coming back every few hours. right? The crates can also have keys as well in them that are used for opening, copper crates, silver crates, gold crates, all those things. So that is value right there in itself also. That is a high labor, 100 labor, but really good silver per labor return, so it's totally worth it. The next thing is one that is the current new Kadam's Bark of the server. It is library bosses. Library, every 4 hours, server goes to absolute crap. Everybody loads into library, and they get in their raid groups, and they kill the library bosses on all the floors, and it lags the entire server. Yay! And you have people swapping back and forth between the two instances, killing the bosses, and they're vendoring the materials that they get for large gold gains. Anywhere from like 50 to 70 gold per character per time, and people are doing that on each of their alts. So a lot of people are making 300, 400 gold a day just doing library if they feel like that's the only thing that they want to do in order to make gold, and it's working for them. And that's completely labor free. So that is labor free gold that you can acquire. So, if you really feel like you just really need some gold, get into that library raid, go do this. Won't cost you any labor. Good to go. Get a little bit of gold right there. Another one is brine-bound rocks. This was one of the ways I was making money at the start of the server. When I was leveling my character at Aegis Isle, these fish out here on the edges of the island have very high drop rates on brine-bound rocks. They're a little watered down now because there's apparently a lot of bots out there AFK farming them. Gamago, bots, get on it. And so there's a lot of brine-bound rocks that are in the market. However, people are starting to regrade boats more, so the brine-bound rock price is starting to go back up a little bit, but they vendor for 20 silver as is. But again, it's a labor-free method of making money. It doesn't cost you any labor. It just costs your time of going out and farming the mobs. So they vendor for 20 silver, but right now they're selling for about 40 to 50 silver on Win server specifically, all right? So keep in mind, anything that you do on the auction house can fluctuate and vary depending on your server's economy and what is currently in demand on your server. The next one is a big one that is going to upset a lot of people. There are some people that do not want this one to be known because this one's a little more less known. Even some legacy players don't know about this one just because they don't do it because they never had a reason to, and so it wasn't a big deal to them. But are silver crates, right? Silver crates, it's another labor-free gold making method. You can go to Reedwind, and there are these Troulodons out there during wartime that have very high drop rates on silver crates, even without any sort of loot drop buffs. You can get, 10 plus crates within, 10, 15 minutes, depending on your speed of killing mobs and if there's anybody else out there. Those crates are currently on the win market right now, going anywhere from 3.8 to 4.2 gold per silver crate. So, that's a lot of money that you can make just in an hour of farming for no labor. So that's a really common one. Silver crates are very valuable. They contain lunarite that is used for upgrading people's gems. So they are always going to have a constant value, as are their keys for anybody doing exploration. That's another one that ties in. That's really good for making money. Exploration will always be good because people will always need keys. The next one is probably the biggest one that people are doing on the server right now, and that is sports fishing. What people are doing for sports fishing is they are going out and completing their Blue Salt Brotherhood quest chain, and from that they are getting free Dawn's Drop gear at the very end. Free as in, they spent everything they did to complete the Blue Salt chain, and getting the Dawn's Drop gear, and then they upgrade that Dawn's Drop gear to the Dewy Dawn's Drop, which can cost a little bit. You can Dewy drop bits, right? You know, a couple crystals, some eel, some yarn. It's not overly expensive, but it's a little bit of gold, and 400 labor for the craft on it. But that would give you 10k proficiency in fishing. From there, you craft a sturdy fishing rod, and that lets you fish really efficiently for sport fishing. People are just getting in these giant sport fishing raids, and they're getting their fishing boats for free. Their schematic for it for free by completing the achievement. That's like the really big thing everybody's doing right now. If you ever look at your nation chat, you just see X fishing, X fishing, X pesca, X pesca, X fishing, X fishing raid, all that stuff. And it is good because it doesn't have a diminishing return value on labor, or on its cost of turn-in, and it's instant gold. So as soon as you catch a fish and you go turn it in at the fish vendor, you get that money right away. It can be anywhere from 7 gold to 20 plus gold per fish, depending on the type of fish. The higher your proficiency, the faster it is that you get the fish, the better fish you can get, the better fishing rods you can get to make all of it much more efficient and more cost beneficial as well in terms of your labor. You do run the risk of being pirated. There are a lot of people who do pirating. I myself, we've gone out and we've pirated reds a couple times before, made like 100 gold in a night just pirating red fishing boats with our guild. So that's an option as well. It saves a lot of labor too. You don't have to do any of the effort of the fishing, and you just swim around in PvP taking people's fish. It's a lot of fun. So sport fishing is a really big one right now that people are doing for making gold. And the last thing, this is the other immediate gold gain value that just comes from farming. A lot of people do this now. It's one, some people won't like that being a thing because they don't like alts, but it is a very common practice of people who do have alts. So if you do have more than one account, you have 2 computers, have both characters logged in at the same time, that is allowed. They have approved that. And what you do is you get your alt into a party with you. You go out into Haram Mountains, Aegis Isle, wherever, and you have your alt take all of the coin purses, all the crates. And at the end of your farming, you use all of your alt's labor to open all the coin purses to get immediate gold from that. And then your main character saved all of its labor to use on funneling the upgrades on your gear. And that is what one thing is a lot of people are doing with their alts. They're just strictly using their alts to open coin purses to make them immediate gold gain. It's 4.5, 4 to 5 silver per labor. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. And right now, with the way packs are, almost better than that because of how devalued packs are right now, because of the way that they currently function, especially since everybody lost their larders recently. So the packs didn't do that. But yeah, that's a really common one. People generally get their alts on a mount. They have their alt play songs, and they just rapid kill through mobs out in Haram Mountains, Reedwind, Aegis Isle, wherever, and they just collect a bunch of coin purses, and you have your alt open them. So that's something really common. It's pretty good. It's fast. It's instant. I do it. A lot of other people do it. You'll see a lot of people doing it. It's just good, instant money when you need it, especially if you need a labor burn. Never a bad idea to save up on a bunch of coin purses in case you're going to be away from the game for 2 days and you need to burn all your alt's labor real quick. Have them open up all the coin purses before you leave and go until you get back. But yeah, so just wanted to share with you guys a couple ways that people are currently making money. One of the other basic ways of making money in the game is literally just looking at your marketplace, your auction house, seeing what's selling, what's not selling, investing into stuff that is selling, what might sell more in the future, and just working the auction house, because that is a way a lot of people do make money in the game, is working the auction house. I don't recommend that one normally because a lot of people don't know how to do that. So I will never recommend that as a way, but that is a way people do make money. So if you have experience with that, could be good for you, but for the average player, it's probably not the best idea. It's really easy to make mistakes on what you invest in or buy and resell. But yeah, I hope this helps some people with making money. There's a couple methods on here that involve labor usage and a couple other that involve no labor. So, you know, there's ways to make money, guys. If you don't have labor, there's a couple options in there. If you have labor, a couple as well. But there are always a bunch of different ways to make money in ArcheAge. Don't get locked into doing one single method of money making, and don't let yourself get locked into thinking that you just got to do dailies all day and never do anything else in the game. As soon as you get out of that daily mindset, you'll enjoy the game so much more. I promise you. But that's all for now, guys. Have a good one. Make sure to give us a subscription here on YouTube and check us out on Twitch and give us a follow. We are still playing ArcheAge. We have not quit ArcheAge. I know some of you have seen me playing Lost Ark recently, but we are still playing ArcheAge, so definitely tune in. We got our Eternal Defiant, so we're going to be looking to pirate a lot more fishing boats lately. So watch out, West. All right, y'all have a good one. See you in Aranor. Peace.